Well, here it is, folks. Your flat OLED is finally here. You've been asking for it, and LG finally coughed it up. This is the EF9500. We knew it was coming. Here it is. It's flat. It looks great. But if we focus on the flat too much, then we kind of miss what's really cool about this television. What's really great about this TV is it's LG's first fully HDR compliant television. That means that not only will it stream HDR content from partners like Amazon and Netflix, but it will also display HDR content coming from HDMI sources. We expect a 4K UHD Blu-ray player later this year, and some proprietary streaming set-top boxes are also in the works for next year. Well, that's great, but wait a second, what is HDR? Well, that's kind of a hot button issue. A lot of people don't understand exactly what HDR is and what it means for a TV and what it means for all the content that you're shoving at your TV. In the most elementary terms, HDR high dynamic range is a widening of the black to bright level. So you get deeper blacks and you get brighter whites. And this OLED television here is well suited to that because it can produce perfect black. It can also generate, as you can see, some very bright highlights. But in order to do this effectively, it needs to be fed information, and that's where things get a little bit tricky. We definitely expect HDR information to come from the 4K UHD Blu-ray discs that we're expecting later this year, but for most folks, it's going to come from streaming services like Amazon and Netflix, and they're a little slow to pick up. It's very much an emerging technology, but I'll tell you what, it's super important because the effect HDR has on the picture is actually a little bit more significant than the higher resolution. You really see the image pop when you've got these really bright highlights against a completely dark background. Okay, so fine, it's flat, and that's great, but the big deal is actually the HDR that this TV is capable of reproducing. It'll take it from streaming services, it'll take it from HDMI. It's as well future-proofed as you can get for now, and that makes this a really great television.